Ishmael, whether I agree with his factual content, his analysis, or his political affiliation, is irrelevant. He is a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago and a supporter and a man who helped you sit in the seat that you are in, Keith Rowley. So how can you sit down there and type up, I won't even repeat the words, and cuss up Inshan Ishmael and tell him go to hell? Go to where? Rowley, hell is a place that is reserved for teachers who take pom-pom from school children, girls of school age, Rowley. That's what hell is reserved for. Hell is reserved for a man who does rule by pom-pom governance. Whenever he get pom-pom, somebody get a walk. Hell is reserved for people who will stand up there and francoment lie and be arrogant to other people, who would curse other people, who would go in the parliament and lie and say that other people were conspiring to murder someone. Keith Christopher Rowley, hell is reserved for a pathological liar. Hell is reserved for an old thief. Hell is reserved for a man who rules a country and only his friends and family get preferential treatment. And you talk about Inshan and telling the media while you admit that a prime minister has cussed up a citizen. You say, where's the context? Where's the context? So there is a context where a prime minister is allowed to cuss up a citizen. That's what you feel in your warped, deranged mind, Keith Christopher Rowley. Well, if that is so, if there's a context in which a prime minister could cuss up a supporter, cuss up a citizen, cuss up a man, Inshan Ishmael is a man in Trinidad and Tobago, help many people, poor people across this country, getting food, especially in this COVID-19 pandemic, getting sponsors to get life-saving food for people, and that you cannot even respect. Inshan Ishmael just lost his business. A business for people, just like the 44% of the businesses are shut down. Citizens are shut down, locked down, and brought down because of your poor policies. You don't even have empathy for a man who has just lost his business, his livelihood, his ability. He's worried about taking care of his family, if his savings will dry up. A business that anybody will have passion about their business, put hours in. A man just closed down his business. He is hurting. And you are so heartless that a man who supports you, let us pretend that he told you something that upset you or got you perturbed. You could not even take care of his family if his savings will dry up. A business that anybody will have passion about their business, put hours in. A man just closed down his business. He is hurting. And you are so heartless that a man who supports you, let us pretend that he told you something that upset you or got you perturbed. You could not even have the maturity, the level-headedness to stay calm, to listen, and to just interject with decency and class. I would like to say on this live here, on this Doubles and Coffee, what you really are, Because that word does not apply to color, It applies to class, to behavior, to lack of character. All of the tenets that you wholly and full-heartedly possess, Keith Christopher Rowley. You just cuss up a citizen. So he said that somebody is a CEO of something and the man is getting favors. That upset you so much? So you're not living in your own world where your friend and them just get favors where 11,389 people out of work, where the entire OWTU has been shut down, where the Petrotrin refinery is shut down and may never open back, and all of a sudden you put your lawyer in charge of Heritage when nobody said shut down Petrotrin, and then there is a settlement that goes against not only the advice of eminent senior counsel, but against 3 separate reports that deal with the audit of a certain production of oil. And that happens in the face of the population of Trinidad and Tobago. But nobody entice you and cuss you and tell you go to hell. What was the context of that? So then the citizens entitled to cuss you. What is the context? Why did you just not say to a citizen who is reporting a situation to you, A prime minister may not know everything that is going on. But when a prime minister hears information, he or she is supposed to listen, gather more information, and act. Not cost the person who bringing you information. You talk about you and know the man, and because the man is a CEO, don't involve me in his nasty business and so on. Who business to involve you in? Noel Garcia? Who business to involve you in? Did you go by the president to intercept Bliss Prasad? Or did you send small pin? Or was it a Talbot? Who business to involve you in? And in all of that bacchanal, should the citizens curse you when they see you? Or you go get police to lock them up? Because clearly you want to control the police. You want to put a police commissioner who has political affiliation to you, because you sending your ministers to interfere, and telling us it was not improper. It only becomes interference when it is improper. What cussing in Chan Ishmael was that interfacing or was that interference? Was it proper or improper? So our children, when the teacher giving them some work to do, or those who are online, they are correct if they give the context of why they were typing rude things, or why they were being obnoxious, or why they didn't agree with a rule that a teacher said. They could go and argue with the teacher and the principal now and say, but miss, sir, you didn't have it in context when I cussed the teacher. That's what they look up, but they would say, but look, the prime minister cuss up in Shan Ishmael, so I mean, the context is I was upset. So if the prime minister could cuss up somebody, I could cuss you up too. That's the example that you have set. And that is why Trinidad and Tobago is lost. The ship has sunk. Not only Gypsy can't sing no soca again, Vassant and the Red Jersey cannot even go on the ship to sit down with Gypsy. So you are cussing people. Patrick Manning warned us about you, Rowley, the raging bull. So Patrick Manning and Manning family, in the context that you attack the man and say that you put spirit lash on him because you live at Mason Hall by way of Lekoto, and the last time a man put you out of somewhere, look what happened. So Patrick Manning family, they're all of them. Well, me I know about Brian Manning. If Israeli family, I don't know. I had to check out that. Could cost you because in that context, Kamla Prasad says, sir, have plenty cost for you then, Raul. Let me take the context. That you find some pieces of toilet paper somebody concocted in the most vile manner by you, but never once has Kamla Prasad Bissessa lost control and cost you. Even you, a man who went in the parliament and accused her and Gary Griffith and other ministers in the People's Partnership of conspiring to murder, when you knew full well that what you had in your hands was concocted pieces of nonsense to accuse another human being of conspiring to murder and to bug the DPP office, and you are talking about context. You have the audacity to cuss Inshan Ishmael. The amount of cuss it out for you then. They should cuss you from now till thy kingdom come, because you are the most dishonest in context individual that I have ever seen. So Kamla Prasad Bissessa and her government should be cussing you every time they see you. What about the Delcy Gate lies? They should be cussing you because the context. You're accusing people and lying to people when people are locked out of the country. What about all your policies that show favoritism for those around you? What about Noel Garcia? If Inshan had say, well, Noel Garcia is spending all the people money, how can you put one man in charge of airport, hospital, health facilities, sporting stadium, all kind of thing? You could put one man in charge of community center, police station, Red House, President's House, Prime Minister residence in Tobago, and all the pressure that you're under now because of your bad decisions, even though the media is trying its best not to give the population the truth. It's coming down and you're crumbling, Keith Rowley. You're a bully and you cannot handle the pressure. Ancient Ishmael was just telling you something. If it perturbs you, just talk to him and say, well, I don't agree with that. I'll have to investigate. I don't know the gentleman. What's wrong with that? So when your mascara wearing Attorney General who look like he renting Porsche motor car now that he finished renting building. When I in the Senate trying to give my contribution on behalf of the people and he's standing up and down like a jack in the box with the tight pants and the mascara running off the eye. I'm supposed to get perturbed and cuss that little foundation wearing clown and he's standing up and down like a jack in the box with the tight pants and the mascara running off the eye. I'm supposed to get perturbed and cuss that little foundation wearing clown who does go in a room, make law in the day and break law in the night? No, he can't rattle me. Keith Rowley, you are an embarrassment to yourself. Your children, imagine your children inside and outside watching you and saying, but what's wrong with this man? Shame on you, Rowley. You're really digging lower and lower. I didn't think you could go lower. Coffee and doubles, and we on U97.5 FM. Corky is here. We ready to roll. Blessings.
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Everybody right now caught in the jostle for space in the race, trying to keep up the pace, but the space ram. Everybody in a jamming for a better life, a better way of living. In the meantime, simple things we forgetting, like how to say good morning, morning, neighbor, good 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 morning, neighbor.
Coffee and Doubles, Monday to Friday, 5:59 a.m. to 9 a.m. with Anil Roberts on U97.5 Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Good morning, neighbors. We on U97.5 FM, brand new management, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio. This is Doubles and Coffee, or Coffee and Doubles as Corky prefer to have. The coffee first, then the doubles. I like the doubles to settle at the base and then let the coffee percolate inside the stomach to bring out the flavors of Trinidad and Tobago. That's what the Douglas does. Good morning. We are taking your calls. I know all you was vexed with me. I'm taking calls early this morning. As all you now having your doubles, all you now having your coffee, 218-7762. And later on in the 8 o'clock hour, around 8:11 a.m., I am going to call Senator Wade Mark. There's the number, Corky. We will get in contact with him. He has been making revelation after revelation, and he's been proven to be correct, especially with the state of emergency that has been called but that by a man who has become unhinged. For y'all who do not know, last night or yesterday sometime, Inshan Ishmael, businessman, who was very depressed and sad that he had to close down his business. Yes, he was a supporter of Keith Christopher Rowley. He supported Keith Christopher Rowley throughout. He ensured that Keith Rowley won because Inshan Ishmael has some pull on the East-West corridor, and Rowley became prime minister by a mere 2,560 votes in 2 seats. Well, Keith Christopher Rowley could not handle the pressure of a simple conversation on email and type the words and cuss up Inshan Ishmael and told him to go to hell. The Guardian newspaper called Rowley and asked for confirmation, and he confirmed, but he tried to say that there was context. Now think about that. This man is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know if you all understand. That job of Prime Minister, I always tell my colleagues in the United National Congress and across the whoever I meet, there are 2 jobs I don't want. One is Prime Minister of the country, and the second one is a counselor. I admire and appreciate and respect all counselors in corporations in Trinidad and Tobago. Whatever party, UNC, PNM, I respect you all because I could not do the job that you all do. Why? Because in this local government system that has not been reformed by Rowley and them, even though since 2009 he was talking about Manning want to bring property tax, but you need local government reform and you want to make sure that the money goes to the local government. But since Rowley has become prime minister, all of a sudden his story changed and it's wean yourself, local government, wean yourself. Citizens, wean yourself off the government. All the money is to come and go into art and into contractors who friendly with he. And Noel Garcia is to spend it. And his personal lawyer is to spend it. And NGC is to spend it and waste it. And the people are to suffer. So his tune changed. He changed from soca to R&B. But counselors, they have no power whatsoever to help you. Yet they live right next door to you. So counselors will be getting costs. Everything with the good morning from Tree Canal, they just get a cost because the pothole right there, because the garbage smelling stink right there. And no matter how much they try and they care, they have to then approach a minister or write through the corporation, and the corporation must get releases from the Ministry of Local Government. And if you have a PNM minister, for example, who cannot get any resources no matter how much he begs because he's a non-entity, because he wanted even to get San Fernando, a seat in San Fernando, he couldn't get that. So if he can't get a seat for himself, how are he going to get resources for you in the corporation for the councillor to then fix the people thing? And the councillors have to be from the Burgess, so they can't hide from costs. They have to stand up with broad back and be tough and know that all they could do is beg somebody else to do the work. I personally cannot do that work, I'm telling you. I don't have the wherewithal and the ability to just keep begging for other people who are incompetent, lazy, heartless, and who don't care, who are busy making deals and cutting deals and seeing who could do what, rather than getting the resources to the corporation so the corporation could help the people. So to all the councillors out there, local government councillors, I love all you, I respect all you, and clearly all of you all deserve PNM and UNC councillors to be Prime Minister more than Rowley. Because here it is Rowley, a simple conversation with Inshan Ishmael, and Rowley at a cost. As soon as Munilal hit Rowley talk in the parliament, Rowley want to talk about boots and what he could do with the boots and meet me on the pavement. Rowley, you are a sick fellow. You are classless. You are useless. And any PNM who vote for that, you all have no shame. Because you know for yourself that you have more character than Rowley. That you have more class than Rowley. Whatever PNM you are, whatever job you do, you carry yourself about better than Rowley. Rowley is the lowest scum of the earth. Look at that. He could not even control himself. And listen, it wasn't like a conversation. It's typing out. So that man is such a raging, raving lunatic that even in the 40 or 45 seconds, and I'm sure he's not a fast typer like some of you ladies out there who go taka 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 and type out very quick. He look, because of, well, you know, especially now after the COVID-19 and the extra horny goat weed, everything does get softer and slower. So he even slower. So in a period of about a minute, let's say, to think, to contemplate while he's typing, he could not control himself and calm himself in that whole minute to not press send on a cuss-up to a man who supported him and helped him be in office. I know plenty of audience out there now going, but it's good, it's good, it's good. That is not how we live, right? We may disagree with Inshan Ishmael's position in the politics, with some of the information or most of the information that he disseminated, which was false, that he took straight out of the PNM propaganda. We could disagree as much as we can. That's good. That's acceptable. But he did not deserve to be abused by his prime minister. He did not deserve to be cussed up by his prime minister. There is no context in which a prime minister should cuss up a citizen, especially typing and staying calm. Well, especially this prime minister, who has been the most obnoxious human being, who talks to women in the most derogatory manner, who attacks Kamla Persad-Bissessar in the most vile manner, calling her all manner of things. But Kamla Persad-Bissessar has shown that she has more strength of character, more testicular fortitude than Rowley could ever have, because all the nasty, disgusting things that he has told and said to and shouted at and screamed at Kamla, Kamla never even cursed he. Kamla never even thought about cursing verbally or written or typed a citizen of this country. Kamla has listened to anything and everything, no matter how ridiculous it is, no matter how based on fantasy and propaganda it is, and she stays calm. That is the type of person that is a prime minister. This man cuss, and Inshan is his supporter. I don't mind if Rowley cuss me. I go laugh, right? But Rowley, I might even say Rowley, boy, Rowley deserves to cuss Anil. Because I know Rowley since 1986. I know Rowley is a white man in black skin. I know Rowley is a sicko. I know Rowley is a double stuffed Oreo. I know Rowley don't like none of all out there, black, brown, Indian, otherwise. I know Rowley only won that PNM job, that prime minister job, to procure without procurement. I know what Rowley is, and I tell Rowley straight what he is. So if he cuss me, I might say, boy, I really put you under some pressure. And I ain't so vexed you cuss me. But Inshan Ishmael, he ride with you. He put you in power. He support you. He use all the airwaves to make you look good. He even hug up Dooku. That one, well, Inshan, he do all kind of thing for Rowley to be prime minister. And the man now get vexed. It's not like he vexed long, like years, you know. And on top of that, Inchan had reason to be extra vexed and sad and upset because his business shut down. People treat their businesses like children, you know. Eh, Corky? Yes. When you put all that time and effort into a business,
Yes.
you treat it like a child. So if you have to shut down a business, it's like your child dead. You mean that Keith Christopher Rowley, it is not within his character, it was not within himself to show empathy and understand that another human being may be angry, perturbed, and may be saying something that is a bit emotional?
But why?
Why would you cuss the man? And then telling me about context. So, Corky, we have to go and teach we children when we leave here. Yeah, well, they have a context when you could cuss people. Right? So go and cuss anybody. Yeah. And if the teacher give you discipline and you don't like it, well, in that context, be rude. That is the example of Keith Rowley. And on top of that, what is the big pressure? Like something, you see, something building up in he. You see the pressure from within. The entire PNM know that Rowley has lost it. That is why Al-Rawi going at him for leadership. That is why Brian Manning starting to try to gather troops to go at Rowley. Because the PNM is collapsing. It's imploding because of Rowley's management. When I told you all on Douglas Politics a month ago that Rowley and Imbot had a big cuss up in front of the cabinet. And when I mean cuss, not this small cuss like what Inchan get, you know. Real cuss. Where if you're a woman, you feel you get pregnant. Because if you hear cuss between Rowley and Imbot, let me tell you, they have cabinet members who's message me and say Rowley is the most obnoxious person. If all you feel when he in parliament or on the hustings that is raging bull, you should see him in Balize House or in General Council or in cabinet. The man is obnoxious in the extreme. And Inchan Ishmael, I'm sorry for you, my brother. I don't agree with your politics, but I could never accept that your prime minister, a man you put blood, sweat, and tears. I don't know if you gave financial support to, but knowing you, you probably did. That you get cussed because you giving him information on a man who is getting favoritism. You giving him information on the pressure that businessmen are feeling. You giving him information on a position that is inequitable, that some people are getting forex while other businesses are not. That is discriminatory, and you are just giving the man information and you get cussed from your prime minister. Inchan, I'm sorry for you, really and truly. Me and you don't agree on that, and that's okay, but that don't mean I must celebrate when you have been disrespected as a man by Keith Rowley and you've been cussed by a man who's in a power position. That is bullying of the extreme, and it is totally disgraceful. And he talking about context. Well, then every citizen in this country should cuss Rowley. All the labor movements, OWTU, NUGFW, tutor, PSA, come down the line, port workers, teachers, WASA workers who going to get bus short, all of them in the context that Rowley say, all you should cuss Rowley. Because Rowley say it have context where you could cuss people. So all the people who have not gotten their grants in this COVID-19 lockdown, shutdown, and broke down, all you, according to Rowley, should cuss him. All the people who have lost their businesses in this COVID-19 fiasco, managed by Rowley, because of the context, because you're under pressure, because you are in pain, because you are worried about your family and your future, in that context, according to Rowley, you could cuss him. You see the point? We're going to take a short break, and we're coming back with your calls. You can call us 218-7762. 218-7762. This is Doubles and Coffee on U97.5 FM.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother, We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life, because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
It's time to make your community better than before. Join yours truly, Kieran Joseph Samaru, on Your Community. We'll be discussing the important issues with the important people in the place most important to you, your community. Join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. right here on MCTV as we know and make your community better than before.
And welcome back to Doubles and Coffee on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Good morning.
Good morning. Doubles and coffee, and you know I like my size, this Sahina.
Sahina, boy. How you going? Morning. Talk to me.
Morning. Anil, last night I listened to you, and it opened up my thoughts to several other questions for Taipans.
Right.
Now, one of the things is, I find it passing strange that we partner Gigi bust it from the country and go on. I wonder if he was thinking ahead that sooner or later a high-profile team has to visit that gentleman, right, Taipans, to do an interview. And I wonder if he wanted to cut out of it. Excuse me for using the and the other person has to do it now is the Jacob man, and I don't want them to do what they do. Bazdeo, Pandey, and Omar went down with half of the police force, but they must treat him with respect. The other thing that is surprising.
Wait.
A vehicle under a certain amount of years. And you had to pay a transfer tax too. Was that paid?
No.
That is another legal issue we have to investigate.
It was
go
not
on
paid.
And have a nice morning.
Wait. Don't run there to go and eat your Sahina there.
I still have my Sahina to finish.
Yes, but you wait and hold your Sahina like it get a little cold there. Because you said something. I am asking you now. Historically, we have seen that the police force in Trinidad and Tobago, the police service, has shown an affinity or preference for one political side.
We know that. A lot of them have Balize card. Remember?
Okay.
Lady Smith.
All right. And many of them have gone up. Right. Do you believe?
The police service that went for screening.
Right.
You know, we know the position.
Furthermore, do you believe? Because as we have seen, if you do not transfer your vehicle officially to when you sell it, 14 days you have. On the 15th day onwards, as I read out the law, you are liable to be charged, the owner of the vehicle. In this case, the owner of the vehicle is one Faris Al-Rawi. And it's been longer than 15 days. And they both admitted yesterday in the papers that they did not, whether they forgot, it slipped their mind or whatever. If you drive past a red light and a police on a motorbike there, and they pull you over, woo, and you pull over, and you say, boy, that red light thing, it slipped my mind, you know. What you getting? You might get double ticket, not so? Do you believe?
But the other critical thing, I don't want Jacob to use any discretion in this. You know, remember when he went to Bombay funeral, he used he didn't want to charge them the 500 people there for not social.
Well,
I don't want him using no discretion.
All right.
He has to be straight down the middle. It is alleged that the man didn't transfer the vehicle within 14 days. He has to be interviewed, and I don't want
But wait. Excuse me.
Have no discretion in the sentencing.
Mr. Sahina.
The other thing that come to my mind again was this tight pants fella thing, the loophole of benefits to MP to pass it on to his family.
Oh Lord.
Buying new car all the time, and after 3 years reselling it.
Oh Lord. Bye-bye.
So
you're saying he could open a rental?
He pass it on in a kind of thing.
All right.
You know, about 6 months ago, it had a hullabaloo about people buying cars and blah, 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 blah. I want to know if that man was in the used car business too.
Have a good morning.
Legal.
Go and eat your sahina. Have a good morning. And let me tell you, 218-7762, it's very interesting because it looked like Ala Rental could give Mitch Rentals some competition because, you know, Mitch Rentals have the best value on all sorts of vehicles to rent out. So I don't know if Al Rawi, good morning. I don't know if Al Rawi want to give Mitch Rentals some competition. Morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Anil. Good morning, and to everybody out there. Anil, I know you're not going to disrespect Insha, neither am I. But I want to say to him this morning, good for you.
Oh,
You crawl on your belly, you understand, to get rid of Kamala. Kamala wasn't good. Up until last week, he was calling on Rowley to go. Rowley, you have to go. But we don't want Kamala. Who you want? Kamala never wanted disrespected Insha and Ishmael. She gave him those grounds by the Diwali Nagar site there. And today, look at how Inshan turned against that lady. And she never told him a word. And look at what it is Rowley do to him. You understand? But it's good. It's good, Anil. I am not sorry for him. Let him continue. You see how today he have to, he's practically crying, right? That because of Rowley, this place is shut off. And that is the cry of a lot of citizens across the country. But when Mrs. Prasad Bisessa was talking to them, nobody wanted to listen. Two Banana had them stupid, right? They listened to all Rowley lies. He was going to do good and all this kind of thing. But let me tell you what it is Inshan also supported. When in Woodford Square, on that day, that last rally that they had, with that visually impaired man from America, where he came and he said, this government is so dishonest that it shut down all the agencies to give statistics on the progress. They don't want you to know how bad the situation is. The lending agency, Moody, he downgraded them, right? Is wildly out of whack. Children are going hungry. People are being turned out of work, and the country is more divided than ever, right? There's so much. There's a lot of haves and there's a lot of there's a lot of have-nots in this country, right? And he also said that Rowley was building houses and Kamala shut them down. So put Kamala out of she house. Look at today, Anil. Everything that visually impaired man spoke about in Woodford Square that Sunday came to pass under Rowley's government. Look at how many people lost their jobs. Children going hungry, right? People cannot afford to buy food and things. They really say that the blind man was seeing more than what those who were in Woodford could see, understand? Look at what it is take place today. And today, everybody holding their heads and bowling. And I think we're going to hold it a little more after Monday, what is going to take place. Because, Anil, let's face it, they don't care about us. And before I leave, I want to tell Ramona and all of them, all you on a rampage, and all they're saying it's not personal, right? If all you had banded together and supported Mrs. Prasad Bisessa, we would have never been in this position today. But UNC people are too much like crabs in the barrel. Anil, thanks a lot and have a good morning.
Good morning to you. And maybe the man there was a seer man. He misread his dream, and he saw the future when Rowley win. Good morning. Yes, good morning. 218-7762, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good program.
Thank you. Talk to me. Your Prime Minister cussing up his supporters.
Oil field here, Santa Flora.
Oh, Lord, talk to me. Santa Flora pain all over the place, Lord.
We under pressure here with bad roads, no water, and a government that don't care about the people only when it's the election time. Because I need hard to it here. I thought Labray would have changed in 2020 and send a message after they close down Petrotron, but boy, Labray had to do it, right?
Why it hard? So talk to me, tell me, you're down there, you're in the oil. Have you ever seen it as hard in Santa Flora as it is now?
No, it's the worst. It had nothing happening. Down to Heritage and all, they just mama guy and people with a little small work and thing, but nothing much happening at all. But that's what I called to talk about, right? In the 2020 election, the Prime Minister said he promised Petrotron workers land. All of a sudden now you're hearing it's their own property. I worked for 30 years in the oil field, but only 14 permanent. So I barely make any kind of money.
I saved my money and I bought a piece of land, so now I'm not qualified for property.
Wait.
I find that is unfair. I find that is unfair.
Slow down there. So they say now they change the parameters, just like how they change the parameters from scholarship to bursary. They're now saying that if you are a Petrotrin worker and you save your money and you purchase a little piece of land, give up the rum, give up the cigarette, make sacrifices and buy a piece of land, they bust all your throat, and now they are saying if you have a piece of land, you're not getting no more land? That's what you tell me there?
Yeah, no, something wrong there. I was at a chill. I give my life and sweat. I sweat for the oil field to make sure.
Who tell you that? When did you hear that? When did they tell you that? Who tell you that?
I call NHA the other day because I qualify and I say I'm an expatriate worker, but I own property. They say, well, if you own property, you can't get nothing.
What? I want to hear from other people on that. That is an interesting piece of news. But these people wicked.
Everybody's supposed to qualify.
But these people wicked. You see, elections have consequences. If you know that a man lie on a sitting prime minister in order to uplift himself, if you know that Keith Rowley lie on Patrick Manning when he called a heart issue and attack Manning and say that Manning is corrupt and Manning meeting with CEOs when he was only vexed that the wrong man get a contract, and y'all elect that man, even in Labre, how Labre could see a man like Victor Roberts out there, and he's still here win, and he's still working harder. Who's the MP for Labre? Me and him know.
Yeah, some kind of some man they import from Barbados or something they bring down and they put in Labre.
What his name? What is the man name? You know the man name? I don't even know his son. McClatchy or something. And just because he put on a red jersey, they suffered. Yes. What about the sports grounds down there? What about the drainage? How many tires your bus with?
The velodrome is a jungle. The velodrome, that was Paraseco Jewel.
Yes.
The velodrome, that is a overgrown bushy area now.
Boy, in 1984, boy, I was tracking this nice little Douglas thing, boy. I was about 15. But my mother and them didn't like the girl. She was kind of rude and thing, but me and studying that she pretty, right? So me and studying all of that personality and thing. So I supposed to go to she birthday party and thing, but my mother, I swimming and playing football. So she don't want no distraction. Them wake me up on Sunday morning, 5 a.m. Say, dress up. Now I done planning to go drink a green sands, dance with the sweet Douglas thing in she birthday. Them take me in the car and drive me down to the Palo Seco Velodrome, boy. Well, I saw for the whole drive. It take about an hour and 55 minutes. I vex. I sit down there, me and say a word. Next thing I see crowd of people. I gone inside, I see races running 100 meters, sprint 400. Then I see Gene Samuel and them come out in some red, black and white stripe outfit to ride bike race against USA. Boy, I forget about that girl and I start to jump up and down and excitement down in the velodrome, boy. So you say the velodrome is bush now?
Yeah, it's complete jungle. It's complete jungle.
I saw some videos of it.
Dilapidated and breakdown and... We not mess.
Well, boy, I ain't gonna lie. I drive past Manny Ramson the other day. The Manny Ram.
Some more inquiries on the Petrotrin landing.
Yes, boy. Blessings. Thank you. That is information here on Doubles and Coffee. Rowley, is that true? Are you really that wicked that you fire all the workers from Petrotrin and now you're telling them that if they own land before, they can't get no land? Boy, Roger. Good morning, Roger, boy. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Anil Robert, a blessed morning to you, sir.
Blessed morning, sir.
You see, Mr. Anil, our Prime Minister has said he did not need this job. The people are stupid, and that was being proven. You see the people who just say they're sitting on the fence, and people who go and vote, they want to come and prostitute. Today, all who sitting on the fence, they fall out. And it's suffering. You see, when election comes, you had 5 years under Mr. Kamla Pasai. God give us a chance to watch 5 years under Mr. Rowley. And people still went and voted for him. You see, Mr. Anil Robert, when Mr. Rowley stood up and was 12. They wanted to put out Patrick Manning out the party. 5 votes for him, which was very ridiculous and has no discipline whatsoever. And 7 votes for Mr. Patrick Manning to keep him in. Today, the Prime Minister controlling all of it. And he's so clever with his speech. Today, the people who put him there, he knows he has the power over them. They can't talk to him. And he's a rude and ridiculous man. And he has the power. You see what is happening in this country? What the pity is, Mr. Rowley there. To every ministry he has failed. And who you blame for the stupidity to put he there? Not we the taxpayers who put him there. We have punished our very own self. Mrs. Kamla Prasad has done so much, spent taxpayers' money on and their grandchildren, and they didn't want it good. The Lord has given us what we want, or the people in their stupidity have put themselves where they want. You see, we must not blame our Prime Minister for our stupidity. He said he did not need this job. You know why? He knows what Mr. Kamla has done. No Prime Minister has done that. The National Flour Mill, every creed and race could have get on their holiday. Food, and more food. We have done this to ourselves. Taxpayers have punished themselves under this. People have to stand up and say, Mr. Rowley, this is enough, so. Because he is power drunk, eh? He has no discipline, no reasoning whatsoever.
Thank you, my brother.
Out,
yes.
Mr. Ishmael, he has caused evil upon this land. Have a blessed one.
God bless. And you know, you're preaching. I mean, I must also say that the PNM control the EBC. So when you know that an election is to be won only in 7 seats and you control the EBC, and the EBC is run by the niece of a former sitting minister, the best friend of the Minister of Education, and you get to choose the referees and the returning officers, and you get to choose, and then the next thing you see, all the votes come out around 9,450. You have to question it. But yes, at least PNM always gets 285 to 310,000 votes, you know. But it's the 12,000 votes, critical votes, that are questioned. 218, good morning, 218-7762, morning.
Good morning. This is Saina Douglas and Coffee Inside the show again. Okay, a quick thing. My mind going back because I have some age to it. You remember there was an incident with a fella they call Pandey, Mark Nichols and Jeremy, and the case collapsed. And it was alleged that it was some sort of
shenanigans
conduct with respect to a piece of land. How that line up with this $600,000, boy? It's
you see,
so familiar, the playbook.
Your playbook, you good, your memory good. God bless. Go and eat your sahina. Good morning. Oh Lord, I press it wrong when I put it on hold and all kind of thing. Let me go again. I work in the board too. Cookie teaching me. Good morning.
Good morning, Anil. How are you, my brother?
Morning. Good.
Anil, do not waste your breath, brother. Let it take the pressure. That's what they wanted. They didn't like it in 5 years. They put it for 10 years. Let Incheon take that in the prefer. Let Bishop and them take that. Let the taxis and them raise their price. People have to live. You know, nobody is telling the government. We are coming out against the government and protesting what the government doing we. But we want to protest with everything else because people trying to survive. Leave it so. Keep your little bread for your daughter and your children, boy.
Oh Lord. Oh God, how you gonna say it good for Incheon, boy? Oh Lord, I mean.
We look for that, and we look for it, brother.
Oh Lord, but
look for it, boy.
I still feel sorry. I feel sorry. I feel sorry, but the boss man cuss him up, man.
Don't feel sorry for me.
No,
Feel sorry for me.
Oh Lord, I feeling sorry for Incheon. How man? How the Prime Minister could cuss his own brethren, so the man who put him in power? Oh Lord, I disagree with you.
Look where you're gonna tell him, man. A good friend, Chan.
Oh Lord, no man, don't say that.
And that was taking this country in the 21st century. We would have been at what status, how they call it, a first world status by now. And that woman going back in, don't say nothing.
Oh, good. All right, brother. All right. I disagree, boy. I'm feeling empathy. I'm feeling sorry. That man get cussed out, boy.
You feeling sorry for people who ain't feeling sorry for themselves, Anil.
Oh, Lord. Drive safe. God bless.
Don't let me wait for that.
You waste it. Don't cuss, don't cuss. You're getting on like Rowley hour. Don't cuss, don't cuss. Don't cuss at all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh Lord, I lost that one. Good morning, 218-7762. We taking some calls and then we have the news at 7 o'clock and then at 7:30 or so, 7:10 or so, we will do the traffic report. Oh, they zoom in outside, but the traffic is kind of built up around 8:20, you know. By 8:15, so we will have Senator Wade Mark live here on Doubles and Coffee. But, you know, the previous caller, the elderly gentleman, made some very valid points. Trinidad and Tobago, we have to get off this way. We have been trained and conditioned to believe that elections don't have consequences, that when an election bell ring, it's about the team, and once your team win, it's irrelevant about what their policies are. You just celebrating like it's a football match. So your color win, you drink, you hug up, you're excited, and the next day is pressure. That, we have to get away from that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm a teacher, and I would like to know if we should actually be teaching any values and character and citizen education right now, because when I see that the Prime Minister of the country could publicly cuss out somebody here right now, then that totally renders the teaching of moral values null and void and irrelevant, because all I have to do right now is just say, but, look at the example of the Prime Minister. And if you could see that a man could become Prime Minister and could be cussing out somebody so publicly, and the newspapers covering it and everything like that, should we post that behavior as current events in social studies into our virtual classrooms? It doesn't make any sense.
No.
How am I going to teach my own children about any morals and values and things after this?
But you have brought up a very interesting topic. And even during the election, I voted in Pity Valley there. And when I went in to vote, there was a picture of Rowley up in there, and I told the returning officer, I said, but there is no Prime Minister now. We are here to vote. There are no symbols allowed, and therefore there could be no picture of anybody up on a classroom wall. So in most of our schools, our government schools, there is a picture of the Prime Minister up there that is supposed to help you teachers teach about discipline, punctuality, respect, empathy, and so on. How are you going to teach that?
But more importantly, that is absolutely true, Anil, but listen to this thing here what I'm saying again. How are the teachers of the nation going to inculcate values into the children now? How are the parents of the nation going to inculcate any values into any child in the entire nation when the child could just turn around and cuss them and say, well, look, I could become Prime Minister. I don't know what you tell me, I can't cuss.
That is a good point. Thank you very much. And let me just tell you, hold on before you go.
Yes,
let me tell you, teachers are underpaid, undervalued, and from me, I would like to tell you and to all your teachers, because I have had the luck and just brilliant experience of having some of the greatest teachers from primary school into Fatima College that one could ever have. And teachers impact people, children's lives, and ensure that they have a good future. And your salary cannot be commensurate with the effort that you put out. So I would like to tell you thank you, and by extension, all teachers who put out that effort to help us raise our children. Thank you very much. You are greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that.
God bless. And that goes out to all teachers. Let me tell you something. There is no price you could put on a good teacher. I was troubled, I mischievous and thing. Whether it's Mrs. Andine Giuseppe, Mrs. Kenny at UE Primary School, Mrs. Ramkisoon, who I had to get throughout a choir, all the teachers who show you love and respect, Mrs. Giuseppe, that's why we play Good Morning. That's why we on Doubles and Coffee. At 7 years old, when we driving up from UE School up to Mount St. Benedict for swimming class, Mrs. Andine Giuseppe would be in our 180B. And she would be coming out on one of the side roads, and somebody would let her pass to turn onto the Eastern Main Road to head up to Mount St. Benedict. And if somebody let her out, she would wind down her window, and not with no electronic. It didn't have no electronic window. She take her hand and she wind down her window, put her head out the window and say, thank you, thank you. That was example of manners and courtesy. I can't see somebody and then say good morning. Me, I care who it is. So I know that teachers impact lives. So all the teachers this morning, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Robert.
Morning, morning.
Yeah, what's going on? All of this happening because of a breakdown in family and proper family values in the country. I live in the Port of Spain area, and I just see you with your daughter and your family down in Movie Town, enjoying a nice little family time, teaching your children family values at Fuad Khan in Starbucks and Movie Town. I just see. When you watch now, what's happening in this country, it is because a lot of family values being degraded and deployed. So if a prime minister comes on and cuts up a citizen, whether he agree or disagree with the man's values or the man's position, when that happens, it tells you something about this person and the appreciation for family value. That is all I have to say.
And well said. Thank you very much. And that is critical. And you see, how can you teach family values? This is what I tell all you. Elections have consequences. All you just people like to just bad talk. Look at Kamala Prasad Bisesa track record. And if you're talking character today, as Inshan Ismail learned that Keith Rowley's a wajang, disrespectful bully. Right? But he can't bully Inshan. But so he pick a good battle there. But you're talking family values, but you elected and the media allowed to go free. Elected a man who was a teacher in Tobago, a teacher who I just spoke about and tell you all I love and respect teachers. And he used his power position to get or to have sex with a girl of school age and impregnated her and then ignored the child for 44 years, and y'all dip your finger for that. How you going to have family values? On the other side, you have Kamala Prasad Bisesa celebrating 50 years anniversary, a mother of children, a grandmother with her husband, Dr. Bisesa, and y'all chose the scumbucket. We go into news on U97.5 FM. It's 7 o'clock.
Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
U97.5 FM, like pepper, multicultural radio.
Power to the listeners.
Welcome to Rhythms Communications Network.
We are Multicultural Television, MCTV. Total local programming, the latest news, all the sports, our culture. MCTV.
MCTV is broadcasting in HD on Flow 114, Digital 22, Amplia 119, Airlink 18, RVR 109,
MCTV.
Mayaro Cable 103.
This is the 7 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. Good morning. 8 new COVID-19 deaths have been recorded, as well as 230 cases. In the Ministry of Health's evening update yesterday, the active cases are from samples taken over 4 days ending September the 28th. The overall death toll from the virus is now 1,474. The parallel healthcare system is tending to 4,189 active patients. 302 of those are in hospital. In terms of the vaccination numbers, the completely inoculated number stands at 493,367. A further 572,597 have taken the first jab. In new figures as well, posted by the Ministry of Health, 95.5% of active patients are unvaccinated or partially vaccinated. Activist Ravi Balgobin Maharaj, along with his legal team, filed a motion in court against the Police Service Commission. They intended to contest the appointment of Gary Griffith as acting police commissioner. Speaking on the 6 p.m. news last night, Maharaj told Rishi Harinanan the appointment was unconstitutional and further pointed out it was irregular considering Griffith's tenure as police commissioner had just ended.
The way in which Mr. Griffith was appointed to act as Commissioner of Police after his term as Commissioner had come to an end and this contract was ended. I think it infringed on the Constitution and what is laid out in regards to how a Commissioner or an acting Commissioner needs to be appointed. And because of these irregularities, we simply filed a motion to get judicial.
Maharaj added his legal team sought clarification under the Freedom of Information Act. He further alleged Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi was somehow involved in the process.
The information that we were seeking is in regards to Mr. Faris Al-Rawi and one of the members of the Police Service Commission regarding their involvement and their relationship with Mr. Gary Griffith. Because the thing about it is that the impropriety that we are speaking about is systemic. It didn't happen just because of, a few persons. It's something that's been happening regularly with the PNM government.
Independent Senator Anthony Vieira is urging for a modernization of service commissions. Speaking with the Newsday newspaper, Vieira suggested this could avoid a repeat of the conflict at the Police Service Commission. A conflict, the independent senator added, is hurting the country at a crucial time. He explained 3 independent institutions, the Police Service Commission, the Office of the President, and the House of Representatives, select a commissioner of police. Vieira noted no more checks and balances were therefore needed. The independent senator added the selection system was flawed with a convoluted procedure. In some international news now, 400 police officers have entered a prison in the Ecuadorian port city of Guayaquil, where at least 116 inmates have been killed in a gang war. The brutal prison fight first broke out on Tuesday, and officials had said on Wednesday that the jail was back under their control. But early on Thursday, neighbors said they heard explosions and gunshots. Shortly afterwards, police said it was sending 400 officers back in to maintain order. The fights first broke out on Tuesday when inmates from one wing of the prison crawled through a hole to gain access to a different wing, where they attacked rival gang members. At least 6 prisoners were decapitated, while others were shot and some were killed with grenades. Local media are reporting that the brutal killings could have been ordered from outside the prison, mirroring a power struggle between Mexican cartels currently underway in Ecuador. And that brings us to the end of the 7 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. We go back to Dr. Bo for your brighter morning, and another news comes up at 8 o'clock.
Welcome to Rhythms Communications Network.
We are Multicultural Television, MCTV. Total local programming, the latest news, all the sports, our culture. MCTV.
MCTV is broadcasting in HD on Flow 114, Digital 22, Ampere 119, Airlink 18, RVR 109, Mayaro Cable 103, ICNTG 120. MCTV bringing you back where you belong.
U975 FM, hot like pepper multicultural radio.
All the music you know and love, played by the DJs who know how to mix it just right. We don't come slight, we come hot like pepper.
Informative and entertaining with the hottest DJs in the country. On the World Wide Web with fun radio, adult contemporary music, and
WBHM, the voice of rock.
Rhythms Communications Network, connecting cultures, connecting communities.
Need a car? Spend less and hire the very best. Mitch Car Rentals, the best cars at the most affordable rates. Also available, quality affordable lawn care. Full service lawn care company. You grow it, we'll mow it. Reliable service with quality results at Mitch Car Rentals. Located at 178 Waterloo Road, Karapichama. Call us today at 788-8420. Mitch Car Rentals.
Mitch Car Rentals, pay less and hire the best. The best cars at affordable rates. Also available, quality affordable lawn care. Full service lawn care company. You grow it, we mow it. Reliable service with quality results. So, need a car? Check Mitch Car Rentals, located at 178 Waterloo Main Road, Karapichima, or call them on 788-8420. Check Mitch.
Yes, and we're going to check Mitch. We really have to check Mitch. And the traffic report at this hour on Doubles and Coffee 97.5, courtesy of Mitch Car Rentals. Wow. Oh, they're lucky this morning. I don't know if people staying home right now down the Uriah Butler. Yesterday was 38 kilometers average going up the road. It's now at 46, and you're going smoothly all up till Grand Bazaar. And let me see, I'm not even seeing a color on it. So like you're mashing gas, don't go over the 100 because you know the police, they like to catch you. Oh, you slow down a little bit as you're approaching Solomon Hochoy. By Shaguanas there, you're slowing down a bit to 25. We 25 kilometers and now seeing some color. But earlier on down by Couva and thing, you're moving, you're sweet. In front here at Charlieville, you're going good. But as you reach down, you're slowing down to 25, 30, going down to the Churchill Roosevelt Highway. Good luck. Reach. We don't like traffic. But take your time, dodge the potholes. That was your traffic update, brought to you courtesy Mitch Car Rentals. Yeah, so we're back inside. So we had a very interesting discussion going on yesterday. And a caller called in and explained to us that there is a law in the Road Traffic Act that says that you have 14 days in which once you're selling a car and someone takes possession of it, they give you the check and you give them possession, you and the new owner have 14 days to present yourselves and to make the transfer, get the certified copy changed and so on. After 14 days, you are liable to be charged. And the penalty is, as stated in the law, and I want to ask Faris Al-Rawi a la Mascara a la Tight Pants to interpret this law, because I love to hear his interpretations, you know. His interpretations of the English language, you know, it's becoming legendary. The man could see words that we may think mean go left, and he jumping up and down and going right. So I want to hear your interpretation, the Honorable Attorney General, the man who's in charge of creating and making and writing and drafting laws for us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Because the Road Traffic Act says, after 14 days, the owner of the vehicle, and in this case, the owner of the fancy Porsche, was none other than Faris Al-Rawi. And he was selling it to a now independent police, well, he resigned now, Police Service Commissioner Roger K. Singh. But both of them in the Express yesterday admitted that they had not transferred the car properly, legitimately, legally. They had not attended licensing office to take the name off of the certified copy and put the new owner who showed in the Express his check that he paid. And I am asking, is this a breach of the Road Traffic Act? Is it or is it not? Because the penalty for not transferring properly is a fine of $5,000 and not or and 6 months in jail. So over to you, Acting Commissioner Jacob, since you like to be called with your full title because it bothers you. You have so much work to do. Gunshots going off all across the country, people dying, domestic abuse, people depressed, robbery, larceny, carjacking, housejacking, all kind of thing going on. But the Acting Commissioner of Police, Jacob, vexed that you don't call him Acting Police Commissioner, that you call him by his name, Mr. Jacobs. I have never seen anything so puerile. So I'm asking Acting Commissioner Jacob, what's the interpretation of the law? What is going to take place? Is there further investigation needed? Do you need to get those statements that were given to the newspaper? Do you need to pull in Al-Rawi and let him give a full statement? Do you need to pull in Roger Kewal Singh and let him give a police officer an official statement? Do you need to liaise with the independent DPP's office to see what is the position? Because citizens will get charged $5,000 and 6 months jail. And that is only after 15 days. We are seeing that this car, on the admission and confession of Al-Rawi and Kewal Singh, was purchased in 2016. The last time I checked, we in 2021. And that's over 5 years. And last time I checked, 5 years is longer than 14 days. So I am asking the police, are you all interested in that? How long is that investigation going to take? As long as it's taking to see if Camille Robinson Regis signed something on a declaration about cash, whether it was right or wrong. After me, that's about 4 years ago. How that take so long? Did she have the cash? Did she get the cash? What did she say? Was it the truth? How long it going to take all that to find out? What is this, a Watergate investigation? This is the investigation of the 3 murders in Mississippi when they couldn't find the bodies. What is the delay in this investigation into Camille, WPC Camille, Batok Kamla, friendly with Bishop's Tea Party and Paula May, who now need, on top of that, as I nearly forgot, Paula May Weeks, you need to apologize to Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Yes, you do. Camille, we don't care about your apology because you classless just like Rowley. So you will probably cuss in Shan too. So we not even discussing you, Camille. But Madam President, you're the President of the Republic. You took the word of Camille Robinson Regis. You woke up out of your slumber, your hibernation, and your communication department sent a scathing attack to Kamla Prasad Bisesa. And it was Camille Robinson Regis jumped on your horse and rode it to say that Kamla must apologize to the president because the member of the Police Service Commission, the nomination, was properly put before Parliament on the order paper. Well, if you all recall, let me refresh your minds on the facts. The president said, while she was attacking Kamla Prasad Bisesa, that on June 10, 2020, she put forward a name to the leader of government business to be laid in the parliament for debate. And therefore, Kamla Prasad Bisesa was incorrect in saying that there was nothing before the parliament, because on all the order papers that Kamla Prasad Bisesa researched, some 36 of them, It was never placed on an order paper. Anyone understands that for something to be before the parliament, it must be on an order paper. That's why you have an order paper. It's not a doubles paper, a greaseproof paper. It's not an express newspaper. It's an order paper of the parliament for business to be discussed. Well, I now hold a document coming out of the parliament, the order paper for Monday's sitting of the parliament, when Colm Imbat will come to mamaga you, lie to you, obfuscate and give false information and present a budget for you to tell you that all things are good, but he going and borrow more money for you and your children to pay back, and he coming to tax you, but everything is good and you're in safe hands with the PNM. That's what he coming to tell you Monday. If you want to listen to that and believe that, God bless you, you all have time to waste. But on that order paper, item number 1 on motions states that the president, through the parliament there, is laying for discussion on the paper, the motion, to discuss the appointment or filling the vacancy on the Police Service Commission. So it is now on the order paper. Camille Robinson Regis and Paula May Weeks attacked Kamala Prasad Bisesa 5 days ago for a statement that she made saying there is nothing before the parliament. But today we see that it is now before the parliament on Monday. So if it is now before the parliament on the order paper for Monday for the first time, how could it be on the order paper or before the parliament properly before that? So with all due respect, Madam Slumbering President, get your pen to paper through your communications department, show some class, and apologize to the honorable leader of the opposition who was doing her duty, who was factually correct and was on point to show an omission by the government of Trinidad and Tobago and the leader of government business that you went to school with and probably clouded your judgment in you jumping into the political fray to attack a leader of the opposition who is doing her duty. And you were wrong, Madam President, because it's now on the order paper. So are you going to show the teachers, as that teacher called earlier, are you going to be the one so they could move the picture around when they're talking about ethics, courtesy, discipline, propriety, and any other form or fashion of morality and teachers would like to teach their children? They could cover Rowley picture and leave yours exposed, because you would have apologized for your error. And now you must look within yourself and wonder, how can an intelligent woman like yourself be led to make such an error? Could it be that you took the word of somebody that you know from school and you didn't vet it, you didn't check it, you tried to obfuscate? Because even your press release that I shredded yesterday, when your communications department said it is your understanding. A president does not have an understanding. Something either happen or it didn't happen. So to have an understanding mean that you took some evidence or statement from someone. Clearly you took the position of Camille Robinson Regis and now you have egg on your face. Not scramble. You have Franco-made sunny side up egg dripping down your face, Madam President, after attacking a former prime minister and leader of the opposition in a most untoward manner, a manner unbecoming of the office that you hold. So now we have the president of, we can't look there. My daughter can't look there. We can't look by the prime minister. You can't look by the attorney general. You can't look by the minister of energy. You can't look by the minister of national security. You can't look by like the minister of social development. You can't look like, where's Camille? We don't even know where she is now, public admin. Where she is? Where Camille? You can't look by the wig lady. So where children go look? These are the leaders all you vote for, you know. And then these leaders come to tell you that you are indisciplined, that you on state of emergency, because if they release you, the citizens, from state of emergency, you will have freedom party. While them partying all up in the treasury, while them spending your money without accountability, They're spending your money willy-nilly while and then telling us about the board wants indemnity and the Prime Minister does not get involved in heritage matters, but his personal attorney is the chairman. This is all going on in this space of time while people are dying. Did you all hear that news report on U97.5 FM? 8 citizens died yesterday from COVID-19. 8. And there was some 281 positive cases. Yet we have been on state of emergency for how long? I lost count. Over 130 days. Why? If something is not working, why are our rights being oppressed? Because Bacchanal must take place. Rowley must procure without procurement. They must have a political war between the factions in the PNM, between Al-Rawi and Andrew Gabriel, and Rowley and Smallpin. I don't care for the PNM games and shenanigans, but their games are damaging the country, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, where I have to look at my citizens kneeling down for basic salary that they work for. Because Smallpin more interested in licking Rowley K-Pax and trying to defend his dishonest Prime Minister. That he ain't doing any work to make sure that he's serving the workers of Trinidad and Tobago, Lake Asphalt, and then the Newsday trying. Well, I wouldn't do that. But anyway, Bliss, we will take some. Hey, I wanted to play you, Corky.
Yes.
I want you to play a tune. You know I like my music culture because talk and music have a different vibe of getting a message across. Yesterday I played some tune there that, you know, it hit home with people because when you give them the facts, you give them the information, you give them the knowledge, you lay out your case, you always put it in concrete when you have a little tune. So play a little tune for the disrespectful Rowlina. Let me hear music.
Let me hear something,
Yeah.
Have it.
We've been oppressed for a very long time, but we never surrender, boy. Never surrender, boy. Never surrender, boy. We've been oppressed for a very long time, but we never surrender, boy. Never surrender, boy. Never surrender, boy. We've been oppressed for a very long time, but we never surrender, boy.
We've been robbed of our land, we've been robbed of our diamonds and our gold, we've been robbed of our language and our names, but never with dignity.
Never surrender, never surrender. We've been oppressed for a very long time, but we never surrender. Never surrender, never surrender. We've been oppressed for a very long time, but we never surrender.
Stand firm, stand proud, never surrender.
Nice man, Corky. That's exactly what we're talking about. We are being oppressed. We are under state of emergency. We oppressed. Our children are not being educated. We have no laptops. They're now scrambling to give laptops. Kamala was giving laptops since 2011 with Tim Gopi Singh. Had that policy continued unfettered for 10 years, we would have been the #1 country ready for COVID-19 pandemic. Our children would have been having the tools and equipment for online classes. Our teachers would have been available and know the way to teach on online. Now we are scrambling. Teachers are having to learn new platforms, how to get the message across. It is different teaching online from in a classroom, and we are oppressed. I saw my people kneeling down in Lake Asphalt, and I felt shame. And I could tell you as a Douglas, I look at that picture, I look at video. Archie played for me on Douglas Politics last night, and a tear come to my eye. I did not weep, but a tear came to my eye to see big strapping men who have families, who have children, who have wives, who have mothers, who have households to take care of, kneeling on the ground, begging the PNM for what they earned, what they work for, not for anything extra, not for good governance, not for good corporate governance, not for anything untoward, not for anything extra, not for a cherry on top of the cheesecake. They just wanted the money that they worked for. Because the PNM does take advantage of people. And as Adogla tell you, I saw about 85% of the men was young, black, African men. When I mean young, 55 and down. Black, African men. And you're telling me about race in this country and we must vote race and who don't like Indian and who don't like African. Stop the nonsense. Whoever is in charge of this country who has my citizens kneeling and begging for their salary, that person is heartless and must go. Whoever is the government who cannot run the economy properly and businesses are shutting down all over the place, that person must go. End of story. And all of us united must get rid of them. That is a very simple equation. We must not let these clowns divide on race. That's why we have this nonsense. And that's why they allowed Corky to take advantage of we.
Well, yes. Do you think I could stay silent? With all the hurt and pain, with all the trials and crosses you have to bear again and again, it's too much advantage. Enter is what? Bring the thing, boy. Lord have mercy. Since a small is one thing again, sacrifice for the country's sake. You burn your belly if the burden you're bearing. How much a pressure for people? You work so hard for your food and shelter. All you get in is the hurt and pain. They close the doors to the poor can't enter. Fixing your back like a slave free again. So where's the cry from the poor and the homeless? Advantage. Where's the cry from the belly and the jobless? Advantage. Where's the cry in the heart and the distress? Advantage. Another family end up in a crisis. Advantage. And we be children at the ball. How we be that children balling. Advantage, they taking advantage. Advantage, they taking advantage. Lord. Advantage, they taking advantage. Advantage, they taking advantage. Stay your finger, believe in democracy. Now you're begging for an equal place. You jam on your wine and dine in your misery. You share the wealth, man, you can't get a taste. And when they treat you like the dregs of society, make and scream and squeeze in the floor. Police on your case, man, your life ain't easy. Using the law to oppress the poor. So where's the fight from the poor and the homeless? Advantage. Where's the fight from the belly and the jobless? Advantage. Where's the cry in the heart and the distress? Advantage. Another family mash up in a madness. Advantage. And we be the children at a ball. And we be the children balling. Advantage, they taking advantage. Advantage, they taking advantage. Lord have mercy. Advantage, they taking advantage. Advantage, they taking advantage. Bring the thing, boy. You broke to thief up a next conviction. Your belly empty, tears full your eye. You had enough of this dance operation. Cause a living man cheaper to die. And if you're living in a pauper's kingdom, which man heaven is the poor man hell? And when the hour of the judgment come, man, woman and child rise up and rebel. So where's the cry from the poor and the homeless? Advantage. Where's the cry from the belly and the jobless? Advantage. Where's the cry in the heart of the distress? Advantage. Another family mash up in a madness. Advantage. And we be children at a ball. And we be the children balling.
Coffee and Doubles. Monday to Friday, 5:59 a.m. to 9 a.m. with Anil Roberts.
And its advantage, that song could have been penned yesterday. Brother Resistance. Advantage. About what year that was, boy? Wow. That we'll have to investigate, but we just know that tune. But let me tell you something. It is more applicable today than ever before. We'll take some calls because I know you're feeling the pressure, the advantage, the labor unions, teachers under pressure, workers under pressure, union busting. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Anil. And is it some cookies?
Okay, yes. Hi, good morning.
Yeah. Morning. You know, I'd like to say something. Our government loves to compare us with countries like Estonia, maybe New Zealand, Australia, and Ireland, and they're always citing like countries that are more advanced than us. But they will never compare Trinidad and Tobago with Gabon. We export over $100 million US dollars to Gabon. Gabon is in Africa, and they're just like us. When our government compares technology with Estonia, that's crazy. Because Estonia is landlocked. They have no water around them. And Estonia has white people. We are different culturally when you compare Trinidad and Tobago with Estonia. But when you compare us with Gabon, we are right up there. They are just as corrupt, just as crooked. And the Prime Minister deals very closely with the leaders of Gabon, and they won't disclose any kind of relationships with Gabon. So I would like to know why the Prime Minister always run into first countries and will never go to third countries that are led by people of color. You know, I just feel like they fool us all the time. And the other thing I wanted to say is, you see those teachers that refuse to teach? If education was relegated to each regional corporation and we had control of, say, we own county or regional corporation, we would have better roads, better infrastructure, nice schools. Schools wouldn't be located near polluted areas and industrial sites. How could children study when there's trucks and cars blowing horn and honking horn inside a classroom? You ever see that government school up there in St. Helena up in heading towards Piaco? It's a Presbyterian school or something like that. That school is located in the most dangerous area, right next to a bridge in a major traffic area, and there's no parking. You go to first countries and you go to Estonia and you'll see a difference. But they're telling us, well, we're giving them money, we're doing this, They're not. They're fooling us. And you see, you have to play some songs by Chronics and Protégé. Because you're getting some songs from Jamaica, but those are the songs we need to be listening to.
Corky is listening to you, so you will get some of that on Doubles and Coffee.
All right, I'll let you go on.
Thank you very much. As we say, good morning, 218-7762. And we also have Councillor from Princestown Regional Corporation, Chris Hossain. We're going to call him because we love the councillors, but the pressure that y'all don't understand. A lot of people are saying, but what y'all doing? You ain't see the road bad down in the area. The councillor will explain to y'all. Good morning. Good morning, morning.
Mr. Anil.
Yes, sir.
You see, when big people could come and say somebody's fooling us, and we have a mind as a child. Mr. Anil, if I come and sell you a 10-carat gold bracelet, and when you go and check it, you see it's copper. When I come back to you, the boy, I make a mistake. Would you buy a next thing for me? No, you wouldn't do it. And you'll tell everybody there's a crook. Watch him. And you see, our Prime Minister say it's a mistake we make. You're sending up something and you make a mistake and destroying the country. Like you make a rocket to send up in the moon and it's costing you over $1 billion. One press, it crash. And next press, the next million, it crash. And you want a person like that to run a country? We are the government of this country. When we go out to vote, we vote for a prime minister. And we have the power to fire or to hire. But the taxpayers of this country, they're fooling we. That's a silly excuse to say, big men and women, we are not being fooled. They come to us, and we listen, and we put them there. when mango in season, what does you do, Mr. Anil Robert?
I peel the mango tree and go and suck a mango. Yes.
Yeah, and turn on your pot, you don't have to cook.
Nah, I still have to eat my meat. Thank you, my brother. I'm a meat mouth boy. I must have my meat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning.
Morning again. Sahina Doubles and Coffee.
What's happening, my brother?
I've been thinking this morning, and I want people to understand this playbook that is being used. There is an issue before the court where it is alleged two officials are before the court for getting kickbacks from briefs. We all are aware of those. Is this something similar to that? Because tight pants and this gentleman, the fella name, I ain't gonna call his name, but he said he has gotten briefs. Is this another way that this $600,000 can be funneled back as a payback for briefs? I say no more and I go on.
Have a good day. Well, the police have to investigate because the timing, I asked that. I would like to know the timing of the payments of briefs. So for legal work, whether done under the UNC or for Arawi, the timing of payments to Roger K. Walsing and the timing of his payment to Faris for his Porsche. How did he know Faris was selling a Porsche? You see how we advertise Mitch Car Rental? We know we could go there and rent car. How we know we could buy a Porsche from Al-Rawi? Hello.
We lost that.
We lost that one. Good morning. Good morning. 218-7762. 218-7762. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning again, Anil.
Good morning.
Anil, here now. The man had a secret something with Roslyn. The man had a secret meeting with Max Richards and the emails. The man had a secret meeting and tea with Ken Gordon, right? The man had a secret meeting with Delcy. He had a secret meeting with Paula. And just the same way, all the secrets came out with over the years. And when Delcy, he tried to spin it all how he didn't know Delcy was coming, right? The secret is going to come out with Paula, right? You cannot continue keeping secrets like that for Prime Minister. You did something wrong. And I don't want to hear nothing about interfacing and interacting. Who want to fall for that nonsense can go right ahead. And the next thing I want to ask, can't Faris make a statement without calling Anand Ramlogan name? Anand Ramlogan not even in the picture. But you come to tell people, Anand, you start to eat from your mother. Who cares?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
When you're in different spheres and you are at the bottom of the barrel and you tried your best, you tried hard, but certain people just surpass you in every level and you just are in awe of them. Isn't there a kind of a psychological transformation that takes place in you and you have like a chip on your shoulder because you can never be as bright or as brilliant or as smart or as successful as that person?
Anil, he suffered from Anand Ramlogan syndrome.
Exactly,
because
my dear.
He said that he went to school with Anand, but I wonder how long Anand left and he remained in the school.
Well, he was there and Anand's scent and all was gone. They couldn't even smell Anand. He went so long. Have a good morning. That man stayed in that school long. He thought if you stay in school long, you just get brighter. He didn't even understand. The mere fact that you had to stay long in school means you're not bright. Al-Rawi, poor fella, but I don't know what it means to be a dancer, but by reading you and studying you, are starting to feel empathy for your intellectual ineptitude. Good morning.
Hi, morning, Anil. How you going?
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Boy, we want money, boy. We want back pay. Local government want the back pay.
What local government? Which corporation? What workers? Where local government?
I want to call the corporation, but when Auntie Kamala was here, we get back pay that buy me a car. I wish you could have come back in the morning,
Well, the other talk to the people to vote. The people vote for Rowley. Vote for the PNM.
The pay we get was Kamala boys, police, nurse, everybody get back pay. What is man really doing, boys?
And why do you think Kamala Prasad-Bissessa agreed to settle negotiations and give workers and citizens back pay? What would have led her thought processes?
Well, we only get Boy, I gotta use tablet every day, boy.
Hey, what about the price of the medicine going? Is it going up or it holding steady? How that is?
Boy, we need we back pay, boy. This man again, nobody nothing.
Well, boy, what I gonna say? Red and ready, blessings. You see, when you vote on nonsense, this is what happens. Because Kamala didn't give back pay for Indiana alone. Kamala didn't give back pay for Douglas alone. Kamala settled 135 negotiations with all unions, all workers, as Rudy and Darsing said yesterday. But somehow they still go and vote for. I don't understand. You know, I can't even say it. You know, good morning.
I know. I want to add one more thing. Kiss Baking Company increased their prices, and you know why they did that? All you remember how Kiss used to have a vendor on every corner, everywhere. That was illegal, and they did that for years, making hundreds of millions of dollars off the people.
Oh Lord, I feel exaggerated there, but
their prices on us, considering National Flour Mills say they're not raising prices. So
all right, but 2 points there. No, hold on. Hold on. Hello. All right. Yes, my dear, but hold on. This show is based on facts. There are more inputs into the manufacture of bread than just flour, my dear. All the other costs based on the incompetence of this Rowley government, the ingredients that are needed, the wages that need to be paid, the lack of the increase in transportation costs from not only the increase in gas price, but the depreciation in vehicles driving on the terrible roads, busting tires, trucks sticking, the service that you have to pay, the increase in electricity rates. Across the board, there are other costs. So we have to get more information before we make categorical statements, my dear. This show is about facts. So when we see what Kiss Baking Company, the statement, what they say and they explain, because I'm certain that they will, we can then analyze it. But everything is going to go up. Yeah. I have been telling you all this. There's not only bread. Every single thing gone up. You go in the grocery, I buy in some cornflakes, sunshine cornflakes and thing, local thing for my daughter, that gone up. Everything in the last 3-4 years. It's not about COVID-19 alone. Understand this, that every item, especially imported goods, and we in Trinidad and Tobago, since the lack of investment of Rowley and Clarence Rambarat, who like to spend more time with Boudit than anything else, that we have no local food production. Our food import bill is continuously rising. Now shipping costs due to COVID-19 have increased by some 500%, which means that every single good that comes into this country is going to be more expensive. Then when it's landed here, there are delays at customs. That puts extra costs on demurrage for the wholesalers and those who are bringing in the items. Then they have to put it. The gas subsidy is gone because Colmembert say all you did not riot. So the transportation costs go up. The security costs are now going up because every business have to invest in CCTV and security guards, armed security guards. That is very expensive. So this entire incompetence of Keith Rowley, it will manifest itself in total pain and torture for citizens. So I am very sorry. People vote for pain because when Kamala tell you 7,000 items, no VAT, all you went and vote is not only Indian does eat food, everybody does eat food, and all you went and vote to pay more for food. Think about that for a moment. You went to vote for Colmembert to put VAT back on food that you had to go in the grocery to buy because you had a red jersey or you feel Indian like banana. It's nonsense. Good morning. Morning. Hello? They're not there. 218-7762. 218-7762. Last call, then we take a little break. And we're going to come back with Councillor Chris Hussain. He from the Princestown Regional Corporation. Good morning. Morning. Good morning.
Wrong number.
All right. But how you say wrong number and I hearing my voice in the back of the radio. I like that. We taking a short break. And when we come back, I forget we're going to talk to a counselor this morning. And earlier I tell all you, it's two work I don't want. The Prime Minister work and a counselor work. The Prime Minister work because it's too hard. To see Kamala Persad-Bissessar working 20 hours a day for the last 10 years. I don't know if all you want that. I like to go a little fishing in between, go and play tennis with my little daughter, go and lime, go down by the avenue and drink a little rum and soda to be a Prime Minister and work. Well, Rowley, if you could be Prime Minister like Rowley, well, he don't even work. He always on the golf course. But when you're doing the job properly, I am talking about, that is a very difficult job and a thankless task. And then you have to deal with the dishonest mass media and some of the macarams inside like PNM Vasant. We coming back. You're on Doubles and Coffee, U97.5 FM.
The Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, in collaboration with the Central Statistical Office, is conducting a nationwide digital inclusion survey. Approximately 6,000 households from various communities are being asked to participate. The information collected from this survey will guide studies to determine how many persons are without access or have limited access to ICTs, as well as measure the ICT skills level of the population. Field personnel will be promptly identifiable while observing all necessary COVID-19 health protocols.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus, my name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
Praise Him. Praise Him.
On the line, we have Councillor of the Princestown Regional Corporation, Mr. Chris Hussein. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Senator.
Am I pronouncing it correctly, Hussein?
Yes.
You know, we have about 3 different pronunciations. I try to get it correct. How are you, sir? First and foremost, I'm not sure if you were listening this morning, but I said there are 2 jobs that I do not want. One is being the prime minister, and the second one is being a counselor, because it is the most thankless job. You live in an area and you are dependent on the powers that be, the political directorate and other people, to give you resources to solve the problems that you so want to solve for your burgesses. Was I correct in my analysis and my respect for all of you counselors?
Boy, I wish somebody tell me this 5 years ago.
You should ask me. Oh Lord, well, talk to me. Tell me what is going on. What area are you in, and what is the situation with your burgesses, your people, the services, the allocation, and what is going on with the Princess Tongue Regional Corporation?
Well, Anil, let me tell you, I'll be honest with you. I used to think that this government discriminating against my people is to feel like, they have it all for we down here. But, seeing how things moving in the country, I come to the conclusion they can't be discriminated. I feel they hate everybody equally. Because anyway you turn is pressure, except in your water tap. You put the pressure in your pipe as well.
You all having problem for water down there too?
We have problem with water, we have problem with roads, we have every problem on you can think. Yeah, and you know what? You can't get response, not a response from these people, I can't tell you over the past 5 years how much time he's begging and boy, go and come to the road, back here and there. Nothing.
I'm not hearing you so well. Just walk around a little bit, like all they have no internet down there too, like they forget about the Southwest. The South is a lost society in Trinidad and Tobago, boy. So, you're sounding a little better there. So talk to me. Give me some of the numbers. Give me some of the effort that you have put on behalf of your burgesses. Give me some of the allocation requested by the Princess Tongue Regional Corporation and the deficits in general that you have been seeing.
Well, let me tell you, for the past 5 years, collectively, and even on my own as a councillor, we wrote countless respects. Sometimes, we don't even get the courtesy of a response. If you look at some of the roads in our area, it's the worst. I heard a couple of days ago he was saying they only responsible for about 21% of the roads in the country. But if you're only responsible for 21% of the roads in the country, then are you 21% in shambles? 21% you should have that in top shape, man, and come now, man. But even in local government, we are we have to go cap in hand to the minister. Give me a little small change. Maybe fix the road. Maybe do, And
is there a landline by you?
Every year, no. By the way, every year they cut the budget amount for local government. But I firmly believe this government treats local government like a bastard child. You always have to be begging for something.
Councillor, do you have a landline where you are right there? Because I'm not hearing you as clearly as I would like, and this is very important. The people want to know what is going on and what are some of the reasons. Because just last week, some people were discussing on me on Douglas politics. Oh Lord, all your UNC, all they don't care about we because we vote for UNC without thinking about it. All the roads in Princess Tongue, in Penal, in Naparima, across the board, in Debe, it bad. And I had to take my time and explain that in opposition based on the constitution that we have, the councillors, the corporations, the MPs have not 1 cent. They control not $1. They cannot. All they could do is write. And who you're writing to? Rowley. Who you're writing to? Rohan. Who you're writing to? Camille. Who you're writing to? A bunch of haters who even hate their own PNM. So that is the system that we have that needs changing. Let me hear if I'm talking. I hear you better. So, Princess Tongue, tell me about your area. How many letters? What are some of the projects that you requested and you are waiting funding from the PNM government?
I don't know if you would have seen about 2 days ago, the Guardian newspaper carried a story about 1,500 potholes in the Naparima Mayor Road.
Yes. So
1,500.
1,500.
Like somewhere along the way, the government gets thing wrong, They thinking that the more pothole you have is a good thing for them. They way out this government upside down. But when you had to deal with people like the minister Johansson and boy, these people could upset our Pakistan, I tell you. It is a real challenge to put up with these people, honestly. But you know, we go out every day, we meet people, we take these complaints. But when you have a government like the one we have now, boy, the pressure goes down.
Now, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar has told all her MPs and all her councillors, as usual, and I served under her as the Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs and then the Minister of Sport. And she told us, an MP, I was an MP for Dabadi O'Meara. She said, and it was her mantra, the people are in charge. Listen to the people. If the people cuss you, if they shout at you, if they scream at you, you hold, stay, listen, take notes, and then try to solve the problem. How can you explain that we have a prime minister who has now cussed up one of his supporters who put him in power? And has Kamala Prasad-Bissessar told you all as councillors the same thing that she told us as MPs?
Oh yeah. You know, despite the challenges that we face with the government, it's one thing. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar always instructs the council to go back to your people, talk to your people, make every effort for them, and that's something that we pull very close to our. You know, we have been elected, been given an opportunity to do. Not like the one in the capital, and it's their opportunity to do. So we take lead from our political leaders. She's a very inspirational woman. She's a woman with a big heart, and we honestly, things will not get better in this country unless the government has been removed. They need to hit the road.
Thank you, Councillor Chris Hussain from the Princestown Regional Corporation. Thank you very much. Have a great morning. God bless. We apologize for the quality of that cell phone coverage. Hockey, that was pressure. I mean, I was getting the gist, but I like things to be... I want to hear what the councillor said because they work already hard and the phone make it harder. Even to do an interview with a councillor is a hard thing. I feel sorry for my councillors. Also, coming up in 10 minutes after 8, in 12 minutes, Senator, the Honorable Wade Mark. Oh my goodness, I don't have enough time to talk to Wade Mark. You're on U97.5, doubles and coffee. We taking a little break for the news and then we coming back with Wade Mark.
Welcome to Diwali Ka Taal, the rhythms of Diwali. May the light of Lakshmi Ma brighten your homes as we celebrate the occasion of Diwali. You are invited to be a part of the Rhythms Communications Network Diwali launch and the beginning of Navratri on Thursday, October 7th from 9 a.m. on U97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio and Multicultural Television. Participate in Lakshmi Puja and enjoy live performances from top artists as we celebrate the victory of light over darkness. You can listen on U97.5 FM and view us on MCTV and Facebook Live. Join us for Diwali Ka Taal. Feel the rhythms.
Sport is in trouble. What can be done to save sports in TNT? Join host Gordon Pear on Sports Insight every Monday and Wednesday on MCTV. News on MCTV.
This is the 8 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan and good morning once again. Many have been left to wonder as to whether teachers will attend their virtual classes and if they will attend physical classes on Monday. There is no direct answer as to what is happening. But the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association has put out this video. There is a message circulating on social media which says tutor is calling all teachers to have absolutely no contact with schools or students. The MCTV newsroom contacted the president of Tutor, Antonia De Freitas, and she told us that it did not come on the letterhead of the organization, nor was it signed by the secretary. But she did add this.
Well, like I said, that's the implement of national tutor.
Right.
However, don't you think it's time teachers rested and follow after themselves and their families in face of all of these situations that they're faced with on a daily basis?
While no definitive answer was given as to the plans on Tutor, De Freitas said this video has also been circulating. The Tutor president closing her laptop. When asked if there was any significance to this video, she said she is free to make a video.
Monday the 4th of October, everybody who has to report to work will report to work, you know. And teachers, those education professionals, don't engage in coursework or industrial action.
Tutor will then have 2 days of rest and reflection, is that it?
Well, we'll see.
No word yet.
I know it's like pulling teeth, but we'll see. Maybe, who knows, somebody might listen to what we have to say and listen to what teachers going through.
So, as of now, there is no action being taken by teachers to not be in contact with students or schools.
Well, we should, like I said, look at you for your photo and video with teacher logos.
Yes.
You can look at that.
And there was also one with you closing a laptop.
But maybe that's slipped into the public domain. I could make a video. I don't understand that.
Government has denied claims made by the leader of the opposition that the nomination of Vincel Edwards as a member of the Police Service Commission is dead. This comes as questions about the Police Service Commission continue to be raised. The Law Association is keeping a close eye, that should be, on what's happening. Here is this story from Zaid Mohammed.
The notification by President Paula May Weeks to have Vincel Edwards proposed to be a member of the Police Service Commission is alive and still before the Parliament. This is according to Leader of Government Business in the House, Camille Robinson-Regis. Earlier this week, Opposition Leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa claimed the notification is not before the Parliament and is dead. But this morning, Robinson-Regis said the Opposition Leader is wrong.
Well, first of all, I am not an advisor to the President. So I would like to refute that totally. Secondly, it is clear that the leader of the opposition is not as smart as she claims to be, because she is totally incorrect. Totally incorrect. There is an existing notification before the Parliament, and once I say to bring it onto the order paper, it will be brought onto the order paper, and it will be as alive as it was on the last order paper where it appeared on July 3rd, 2020.
Vincel Edwards was one of the persons who filed for the position of Commissioner of Police 3 years ago, but was unsuccessful. So is it the same person being referred to?
Well, what I have before me is the curriculum vitae of Mr. Edwards. I assume it's the same person. I don't think there may be another one, but I just have his CV before me. Remember that in this nomination coming before the Parliament, that the President stated quite clearly that after consultation with the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition, I repeat, the Leader of the Opposition, in accordance with Section 122(3) of the Constitution, she nominated Mr. Vincel Edwards.
Robinson-Regis was speaking on I-95.5 FM. And the Law Association President, Sophia Choate Senior Counsel, expressed her alarm at the state of the Police Service Commission and said the association was keeping a close watch. She spoke with Newsday on Wednesday. The PSC is inquirate, with just one member, its chairman Bliss C. Prasad, after 3 commissioners, Courtney McNeish, Dr. Suzanne Craig James and Roger K. Walsing, resigned in protest at C. Prasad's suspension over Gary Griffith as acting commissioner of police during an ongoing probe into the issuing of firearms users license. Choate said the situation is extremely unsatisfactory, and as president of the Law Association, she could only speak on behalf of the council, and it's monitoring the turn of events very closely. She said the association was very sensitive to the fact that there are at least 3 cases before the courts involving the PSC and COP.
Thank you very much for that report, Mr. Rishi Harinanan. Acting Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacob, the executive and officers of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service extend deepest condolences to the family and friends of number 12523 Sergeant Sherland John. Sergeant John, 51, passed away at his home on Wednesday, the 22nd of September, as a result of complications due to colorectal cancer. He was ailing for the past 2 years and was last attached to the Komoto police station. He enlisted in the police service in 1989. While attached to the Guard and Emergency Branch, he earned the nickname Zero Tolerance. Colleagues described him as hardworking, supportive, and a team player. Sergeant John, who lived in Cunapare, leaves to mourn his wife Beverly and sons Matthias and Malik. The Northwest Regional Health Authority is now paying great attention to the Delta variant of the COVID-19 virus. Director Anthony Parkinson says so far several adjustments have been made, including by frontline workers.
Director of the Northwest Regional Health Authority, Dr. Anthony Parkinson, said the front line in the fight against COVID-19 is shifting. Speaking during the Ministry of Health's press conference earlier today, Dr. Parkinson explained the adjustment was due to the community spread of the Delta variant. He added as well that vaccines were still readily available.
The front line is shifting. The front line is no longer in the hospitals. The front line is coming to a house near you, a place near you. Actually is knocking on your door. The front line is now where you are. This Delta virus is spreading so fast. It is twice as transmissible. I mean, it spread twice as fast. It's easier to spread. It doesn't take much for it to spread, so it's amongst us.
Dr. Parkinson noted comorbidities affect the human body in lowering a defense tolerance, which makes it a bit easier to contract the virus.
Diseases like hypertension, asthma, diabetes, kidney disease. We won't call obesity a disease, but unfortunately obesity is one of the what they call the comorbidities that increases the chance of you having a bad time with the COVID. So all these things help to, as it would, break down your defenses, break down your walls of your house. You need extra help, and that's what the vaccine is here for. So the vaccine is brought here especially for the vulnerable.
Dr. Parkinson also commented on statements made by rapper Nicki Minaj. The singer, who has Trinidadian roots, claimed a friend of her cousin suffered ill effects after taking the vaccine. He suggested the side effect, namely swollen testicles, could have been caused by other factors. He pleaded to people, especially those with comorbidities, to get vaccinated as soon as possible for their own good.
A certain star around the corner from us, NM, I'm not saying anymore, had a concern of a certain citizen of Trinidad and Tobago that he had a certain problem, allegedly from taking the vaccine. His scrotal sac or his testicles got enlarged. Now, enlarged testicles is a problem. We call it orchitis in medicine. Right? It can be caused by viruses. Yes, viruses. Mumps virus could cause it. Caused by viruses and bacterial infection. We have not found anywhere in the world that the vaccine could cause it. Just viruses and bacterial infections.
I am Celine Bansilal, reporting for MCTV.
And taking a look at your weather now for the period today until midnight in Trinidad and Tobago. A sunny morning over most areas despite a few showery interruptions. There is the medium or 60% chance of the heavier shower or isolated thunderstorm favoring western and hilly areas of Trinidad. Should be a fair night except for a few isolated showers. Gusty winds, street and flash flooding can occur near heavy downpours. Last night's minimum temperature was 25 degrees Celsius, while today's maximum is an expected 33 degrees Celsius. And that brings us to the end of the 8 a.m. news on MCTV and U975 Hot Like Pepper Radio. I am Andrew Chan. Do have a pleasant morning while your next major newscast comes up at midday.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that Peter is gold. After story had never been told. So now you see the light. Hey, stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Most people think great God will come from the sky, take away everything and make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you would look for yours on earth. And now you see the light. You stand up for your rights. Yeah. Get up, stand up. Yeah, yeah. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Life is your right. Get up, stand up. So we can't give up the fight. Stand up for your rights. Lord, Lord. Get up, stand up. Keep us traveling on. Don't give up the fight. Yeah. We're sick and tired of your ism, schism, game, dine and go to heaven in Jesus' name, Lord. We know when we understand Almighty God is a living man. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So now we see the light. We gonna stand up for our rights. Yeah, so you better get up, stand up in the morning. Give it up, stand up for your rights. Stand up right now. Get up, stand up.
And welcome back to U97.5 aboard Mali. We've got to get up, we've got to stand up, we've got to fight. This is oppressive, it's debilitating, it's disgraceful. This PNM must go. And a man who's waging the war against the PNM, a former labor union member, a senator for over 15 years, a former Speaker of the House and a current senator and leader of the United National Congress business in the Senate, the Honorable Wade Mark. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Anil, and good morning to your listening audience on 97.5 FM.
Wade Mark, today we see that on the order paper that it is now placed for the Parliament for debate on Monday, October 4th. For the first time, we are seeing on the order paper the motion on the selection of a member to fill the vacancy of the Police Service Commission. It seems that Kamla Prasad Bisesa was correct, and Camille Robinson Regis, PSC Camille, WPC Camille, Special Reserve Police Camille, and Her Excellency were wrong.
Clearly, and I fully support that statement, because when I read that particular release, by WPC Camille Robertson Regis, indicating that the actual notification via a motion was alive and well on the order paper, and that she was chastising the political leader and the opposition leader of the United National Congress. I myself became a bit flabbergasted, because when I checked the records, I realized that it was on the order paper, but in June of 2020. And as we all know, we had an election in August of 2020. And when a parliament is dissolved or stands dissolved, everything on that order paper and everything that was going on in that parliament during that period and before that period of the dissolution die with the dissolution. So it was impossible for that particular matter to be alive. So I think what they have done, they have recognized their error. They have recognized that a mistake has been made. And as you said, when you look at the order paper, you'll see under the item papers where the notification is on the order paper for the first time in this particular 12th Parliament. We are now into the second session. And as you know, Anil, a session has a minimum of 6 months to a maximum of 12 months. 12 months have gone in the first session. We are now into the second session of the 12th Parliament. And even though this notice and motion was sent since June of 2020, the government, the incompetence of the leader of government business, it has shown, has manifested the incompetence of that entire regime, because it is now being put on the order paper after a whole session has passed, after 36 order papers have been issued by the House of Representatives. That particular matter involving Vincent Edwards never appeared on the order paper. There was never no motion for the last 12 months. Now we are in the 12th Parliament of the second session of the same 12th Parliament. We see it is appearing for the first time. So clearly the Honorable Leader of the Opposition was correct. And again, the WPC, Camille Robertson Regis, was very wrong, and she misadvised the President of the Republic on this matter.
Wade Mark, what is the normal convention? I see this Vincent Edwards, and I see that he applied for the job of Commissioner of Police before, and he was graded, interviewed, and so on. And he was ranked 16th out of 20 applicants. How is it possible, if you are looking to fill the limited space on a police service commission which only consists of 5 citizens of the highest quality in Trinidad and Tobago, to actually impact the independent team of the Trinidad and Tobago police force to choose a leader? Doesn't it strike you as strange that this gentleman who ranked 16th out of 20 will get the nod to choose someone who possibly ranked above him in the interview process?
I fully agree with that statement, Anil. It is part and strange that a former Court of Appeal judge and a former leader of the bench somewhere in one of those small islands, in British Islands, that is the present president of our country, Her Excellency Paula May Weeks, could make that elementary error. But then we shouldn't be surprised, because as you recall, and the country should recall, the same president appointed a lady called Bliss C. Prasad to sit as chairman of a quasi-judicial, autonomous, constitutionally entrenched and independent police service commission, when the Constitution under 126(1), I think 1 or 2, makes it very clear that anyone who has held public office should not be appointed to such an independent quasi-judicial body called the Police Service Commission, or I dare say any service commission, be it teaching, judicial, be it public. And this, in this instance, the police, until 3 years would have passed. So in other words, Blissy Prasad was appointed by Chief Rowley, the Prime Minister, to be a director on the Shagaramas Development Authority. That is a public office. She received an emolument from the Consolidated Fund. She received a salary, or not a salary, but she received perks and perquisites as a director as a result of her holding a public office. And she is also responsible for submitting to the Integrity Commission on an annual basis a declaration of her assets, liabilities, and income. So therein lies the conundrum. Here you have a person holding public office, and the Constitution is saying you cannot appoint such a person until they would have served 4 years in exile for consideration as a member of the Police Service Commission. But the President of the Republic, in her wisdom, in contrary to the Constitution, appointed a serving member of a statutory board appointed by the Prime Minister and his cabinet, which is the Shagaramas Development Authority, to serve as the chairman of a quasi-judicial, autonomous, and independent Police Service Commission.
Wait, Mark.
Yes, brother.
And furthermore, and you have made it pellucidly clear for all those listening across Trinidad and Tobago, furthermore, as the chairman of the CDA, doesn't that human being, which happened to be Blissy Prasad, who was later put on this quasi-judicial independent body, doesn't she fall as chairman of the CDA under the direction of the minister with responsibility for the CDA, which at that time happened to be Madam WPC Camille Robinson Regis?
Absolutely, absolutely correct. And not only, I think you have to go a step further. Just remember that the Prime Minister is the chairman of the Committee of Parliament, or of the Cabinet rather, that appoints members to the board, whether it's a state enterprise board or a statutory board, whether it be WASA, whether it be CDA, whether it be TNTEC, so, or even the Port Authority. So apart from WPC, Camille Robinson Regis being the line minister with responsibility for the Shagaramas Development Authority, and therefore Blissy Prasad will have to report to her. What is even more significant is the Prime Minister is the matter, is that once that lady was elected by the Prime Minister to serve as a director / chairman of the CDA, Her Excellency must have known this, and therefore Her Excellency ought not to have appointed that lady to that particular office, and more to hold chairmanship of the said Police Service Commission.
Senator Wade Mark, now you in the newspaper today, you have accused the Attorney General Faris Al-Rawi of, well, he's been accused of many things, including car and not transferring. We talked that at a different time. But you have accused him of misleading the Parliament. Please explain, Senator Mark.
Now, you would recall that I had brought a motion to have the legal notice 183 annulled, because what the Attorney General did surreptitiously and secretly, until we discovered it, was altered the whole process for the election and ultimate appointment of a Commissioner of Police and as Deputy Commissioner of Police. And when we look at paragraph 4 of that order, we realize what the conundrum, the confusion that the particular individual was generating. Because how in paragraph 4 of Legal Notice 183 was the appointment of a person on contract at the level of the hierarchy of the police service of Trinidad and Tobago to act in his capacity as police commissioner. And although they put their deputy commissioner of police in the mix, at the end of the day, what that paragraph was saying is that the president can, in fact, the Police Service Commission, in fact, appoint a person on contract to act as police commissioner. Now, as if that was not bad enough, what he did, rather than allow the Police Service Commission to submit to Excellency a merit list, a merit of order list, saying, well, look, John Brown was interviewed, and based on all the criteria used to assess and evaluate his fitness to become police commissioner, he has scored 1,000 marks. So John Brown is number 1 for the commissioner of police post. Number 2 is somebody else. Number 3 is somebody else with 900 or 800 marks. What happened in the 2015 order was that John Brown, who scored 1,000 marks, would have been sent in that order of priority. John Brown, James Lewis, Randall Burrows, what have you. And then when that list goes to the president in terms through notification would send this order firstly to the clerk of the parliament, through the leader of government business. It will find its way on the order paper. So one name alone would have been forwarded in the 2015 order. So that name would come, it would be debated and either approved or rejected. And then the president would send the second name on the list, on the merit list of order, or the merit list, or the merit order list. And therefore, what would happen, Anil, is that the second name would be sent, a debate would ensue, whether they accept or they reject. That is how the process would unfold. That was the order of 2015. That order and that arrangement was changed. And the president was asked the Police Service Commission was asked to send all the names to the president. So the president had, let's say, 10 names or 8 names. And what is the president to do if there is no order of merit? There is no identification of who came first, who came second, who came third. So he sent all the names for the president. That is why we argue that under Section 80, I think 5 of our Constitution, the president, when in a state of confusion, she acts on the advice of the cabinet. And we argued that what would happen at the end of the day is that the prime minister might intervene in this matter and advise the president out of the 6 names that were submitted to you. You know what? You must go with the 4th name and not the 1st name. And the 4th name
Senator Mark, hold it.
And that would have been their choice.
Hold it. Senator Mark.
Interference.
Hold it.
Where we saw the executive overreach into the selection
of
the commissioner of police. And
wait.
That cannot be right.
Senator Mark, hold.
Why that whole
You're not there,
process.
Hold there.
Argued that the Attorney General misled our Parliament, because when you go to the notes, his contribution in the Hansard, the AG made it very clear that when that list is completed by the Police Service Commission for the acting appointment of a police commissioner, it then goes to the president. And the president, by notification, has to send that list to the parliament. So whether it's for a permanent appointment, that is for 3 years or 5 years, as a commissioner of police, it must be subject to a debate in the parliament. If you are acting as a commissioner of police, it must be debated and approved by the parliament. This is what the Attorney General said when he was responding to the motion to have legal notice number 183 properly when I tried to get it annulled.
Senator Mark, hold. Senator Mark.
Newspaper
He not
some
there,
time
man.
ago.
It's a critical point.
The city called Dave Prasad was upbraided. He was almost condemned by the Attorney General for indicating that the process that the Attorney General had adopted in this particular matter is a wrong process. And therefore, that matter must have come to the Parliament. An acting police commissioner cannot be appointed by the Police Service Commission. They do not have the power to appoint anyone under our Constitution to act as a acting or a police commissioner. And the AG wrongly condemned that position taken by Dave Prasad and said that Dave Prasad was wrong. And he was right. And everything is running smoothly. So here it is, the AG is saying to us in the Parliament, this is the process must be followed. Another individual writes and said, you are wrong in doing what was done. He said to the person, you are wrong, I am right. So then the question that arises is who is right? Because you told the Parliament this is how the process must be done. And when the gentleman tells you this is how the process must be done, you are saying no, that is not the correct way. So we are saying that, so what did you do? When you spoke in Parliament, you misled the Parliament? Did you tell the Parliament that there was a process, notification, and it must come to Parliament and it must be debated? Now you are saying, in other words, the Police Service Commission was right in what it did by appointing the current acting Commissioner of Police to act as Commissioner of Police. So that is why I am arguing, Anil, that something appears to be wrong. And I'm saying that if that is the case, let the Parliament determine whether the Attorney General misled us in this instance.
Senator
because
Mark.
there's one thing on the handbag and there's another thing he's saying publicly. So there is a contradiction and we need him to be taken to the Committee of Privileges so that this matter can be cleared up.
Senator Mark, I was trying to interrupt you, but you weren't hearing me. But I'm glad that you made the full point. However, it appears that you have a crystal ball because you made in this motion, one of the points that you made about 2.5 minutes ago was that without an order of merit list, with a lump of names just being sent to the president, that it opened the gate for political interference and political misbehavior in public office, where someone of a high office in the executive, whether the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, the Minister of National Security, or the Minister of Energy in the office of the Prime Minister, could interfere with the selection process. And we have seen that actually play out. So that's the first question. How did you know? What led you to believe, because you have been proven right, that the political interference would have taken place, and we see that it has taken place, number one. And number two, who was the minister who knew that Blessy Prasad was going to deliver this sacred secret list to the president? Who got in there? Who was allowed to talk to Blessy Prasad? Who excited her to the point that she would go against her oath of office, Wade Mark?
Yes. Well, Anil, what led us to make that profound statement during the debate to annul the motion was a simple analysis of the reality. We had, as I told you, a legal notice of 2015 outlining the process to appoint a commissioner of police. That process was very simple and straightforward. That process said that the Police Service Commission will interview, recruit, and then make decisions as to which person topped the list, which person came second, which person came third. Then the Police Service Commission would forward that merit list to the president, who came first, who came second, who came third. Under that 2015 order, the president is mandated to send to the Parliament through the clerk the name of the first individual on the order of merit list. So whoever that person may be, the only name that the president would send to the Parliament is that name of the individual who came first. That name would then be debated in the Parliament, and the name would either be accepted or rejected by the majority, which is the government. What the AG did, and we were able to see through it, was to create confusion in his 183 legal notice, paragraph 4, where no longer the Police Service Commission would send a merit list in an orderly and sequential manner, indicating who came first, who came second, who came third. What the AG did was to tell the Police Service Commission not to develop no order of merit list in that particular sequential ordering. Just send it like Kalaloo. It's like total confusion. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't know which name to send. So what is the president to do if she has 4 names and she don't know who comes first, who comes second, who comes third, who comes fourth? If she to send all 4 names down. And if in that state of confusion she doesn't know what to do, then she's a creature of the ruling party, because they have the majority in the Electoral College. And under 85, Section 85 of the Constitution, and don't hold me to that, I might be wrong, but it's somewhere in Section 80, you have the president being subject to the advice, and she can only act on the advice of the cabinet. And there's where we said, listen, you are now leaving a door open for the executive to intervene in the appointment of a police commissioner. Because if the goodly lady, Her Excellency, is in a state of confusion because of your legal notice and because of your flawed drafting deliberately done, what is she to do? So she may well turn to the Prime Minister, who is the head of the cabinet, and say, Mr. Prime Minister, this is what was sent to me. I have 4 names. I don't know which one to go, which one to send, which one not to send. And I am just theorizing. I am just saying from a hypothetical situation, given that confusion, the Prime Minister could simply say, well, listen, instead of sending the first person who got 1,000 marks, send the fourth person who got 800, and the first person got 1,200, send the one with 800.
Wait, Mark.
I want to send that.
Wait, Mark, I disagree with the hypothesis, because there's evidence to show that the president would not be so confused, Wade Mark. Let me put my argument to you. It appears that the president, just like the PNM, is averse to meritocracy. Just like the scholarship program that has transformed to bursaries. Just like the choosing of cabinet ministers who are not qualified. I put it to you that the mere fact that on the order paper for Monday for the first time, there is a motion to discuss a man who placed 16th out of 20 to take up and fill a position on the Police Service Commission. I proffer to you, had the president had that order 183 that Faris Al-Rawi tried to put in back in 2015, and the merit list did not exist, and 20 names were sent to the president, I put it to you that there is a great possibility and a reasonable human being would suggest that the president, for whatever reason, would have chosen number 16. Wade Mark.
Well, all I can say, Anil, in response, is I think the president owes the country an explanation for that particular, clearly, indefensible decision to place somebody who ranked 16 out of a list of 20 persons to become a member of a quasi-judicial, constitutionally autonomous and independent Police Service Commission. And Anil, I say further, we will have to determine, I don't have the gentleman's CV before me, I don't know when he retired as an assistant commissioner of police. Now remember, when you are a police officer, that is a public office you hold. A public office means that you are receiving emolument, whether it's a perquisite or honorarium or stipend, you are receiving that from the consolidated fund. And therefore, if you are receiving it from the consolidated fund, and you are subject to the Integrity in Public Life Act, we have now, Anil, to determine when did Vincent Edwards retire as an assistant commissioner of police or a deputy commissioner of police, whatever rank he held, when did he resign? So apart from that first very clear argument that you have raised, that he ranked 16, and how come the president was able to pull somebody who is number 16 to become a member of the Police Service Commission, that is beyond me. But what is even more serious, and we need to put it side by side with that very critical point, is whether this man, when did he resign? When did he retire from the police service? Was it a year ago? Was it 2 years ago? Was it 3 years ago? If it is under 3 years, Anil, that man is in that there's a collision with that appointment as it relates to section 126.2 of our Constitution. It makes it very clear, no one shall be appointed to the Police Service Commission if they would have served in a public office under 3 years. When you leave that public office, you must have allowed 3 years to pass for your name to be considered to become a member of the Police Service Commission. As I said, I don't have that data before me. I don't have that information before me as to when this gentleman retired from the police service.
Senator Mark.
Apart from that,
wait, hold on.
The first point that you raised.
Yes.
Talk about the judgment. It's the judgment. What the judgment of the president in these matters. How can you do that? And I don't know if you're aware that there is a case right now before the court involving, I think, Inspector Anand Ramita. And Anand Ramita is arguing that his name ought to have been included in that particular list of the merit of order listing. So that matter is before the court. But what is even more significant is the list of 20%. Anand Ramita came 7th, or I think 8th. He beat Vincent Edwards, but yet still Vincent Edwards is being put on a police service commission to judge and determine whether Anand Ramisa should be commissioner of police.
Let me ask you a
This is highly
question.
contradictory. It is highly irregular. It demonstrates a lack of proper judgment on the part of the president of this country. And I think that the president needs to we need to determine whether that president is still fit to occupy that office.
Well,
or
that's-
whether, for instance, the conduct and behavior warrant the United Nations Congress going to Section 15 of the Constitution to determine whether we should not bring a resolution to the Parliament to have this president removed.
Well, wait, Mark. You must have read my paper here, because I was going to ask you. You are a student of Westminster, and if a president has appointed on her own a police service commission, a quasi-judicial body, and it has collapsed, 3 of the members have resigned, and the one that is standing firm is the one who has been most notably moving against the proper processes, the principles of separation of powers, and the actual operation of the Police Service Commission, whether this president, who has failed dramatically, should be allowed to choose another Police Service Commission, number 1. And number 2, Wade Mark, after you deal with that in a short space of time, you are a labor man. You're a man of the people. You have fought for workers' rights throughout your career. Please tell me how you felt yesterday seeing your brothers, your comrades, on bended knee, praying, begging, and beseeching the PNM to pay them what was due to them. Wade Mark.
My brother, if I could go to the latter point in terms of the workers of Lake Asphalt, it is really shameful. It is almost bordering on the reprehensible that workers at Lake Asphalt had to go literally on their knees. It reminds me of the policeman who had his knees on Floyd neck, and he couldn't breathe. And here it is, and so on. The government has appointed a board of directors that has wrecked and really almost slaughtered that company called Lake Asphalt. The mismanagement and the waste and the corruption, and never forget, Anil, there are some $1 million gone missing, or just under $2 million gone missing in some wire transfer at Lake Asphalt, when they have no money to pay wages and salaries to the employees, to the workers of Lake Asphalt. Now, when we left Lake Asphalt had a good balance sheet. They had reserves in their kitty, and less than 3 years, Lake Asphalt has collapsed. And therefore, it means to say that the management, the board of directors, and the cabinet collectively are responsible for what has taken place at Lake Asphalt. And I'm under the clear impression that the government is deliberately running down, punishing that company called Lake Asphalt because they have a plan. And their plan is to privatize Lake Asphalt. And I understand they have already selected someone, which they have not made public. But we understand the Chinese have an interest in taking over Lake Asphalt. So I believe, just as what is going on the port, they did not finance any investment, no kind of injection of capital to get the port authority going so that they can compete with other ports in the Caribbean. They allowed the port to run down, and now the port has run down. They are about to sell out the port, privatize the port, and fire all the workers. So their strategy, and it is very clear and deliberate. They run down, as you have always said, they mash up, they create a crisis, they come in to create order. And the order is the sellout of the people's assets. And that is where I believe they are going to Lake Asphalt. That is why they are punishing the workers in the way that they are punishing the workers, brothers, in that part of the country. So now I want to make it very clear. I said at a press conference recently that the evidence that is emerging in this imbroglio, this conundrum involving the head of state, now we understand the Prime Minister, and he's silent on this. Was the Prime Minister the individual who inserted himself at that meeting involving Blessy Prasad, Her Excellency, on the 12th of August when she came to President's house to deliver the marriage list? Was it the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister and the President of the Republic need to answer that question, because the leader of the opposition has indicated he has credible evidence and information that that is the individual who inserted himself. So if that is the case, this is tantamount to misbehavior in public office. They are tampering with our Constitution. They are seeking to have their own police commissioner handpicked so that they can go after those persons they deem to be their enemies, and allow this puppet police commissioner to institute false charges, trump-up charges against citizens in this country who the PNN don't like. That is why this issue is so important, and that is why we have to go to the bottom of it. What is the Prime Minister? Was the Prime Minister the individual? Is the Prime Minister aware? Was the Prime Minister present at that particular meeting on August the 12th? He needs to come out and tell the country. And that is why, Anil, I have come to the conclusion that the police service, independent police service, should really have a discussion with some of these players. I'm talking about Blessy Prasad. I believe that they should talk with the Prime Minister of this country. I think they should speak to the President of this country, because there's clearly a violation and breach of our Constitution that constitutes what I would like to describe misbehavior in public office. And I think that the police should visit these individuals and get some answers. Because if what we have been told, if what we have read, if what we have gathered, if all the evidence is pointing to this gentleman who is our Prime Minister as the individual who inserted himself, I believe that that man must not only be mid-office, but he must be charged. The police must charge the Prime Minister for misbehavior in public office. The police must interview him on this matter. This is a serious matter. This is where this man is attempting, if that turns out to be true. He is attempting to contaminate. He is attempting to subvert. He's attempting to undermine and compromise our democracy as he seeks to impose a totalitarian state on the backs of the population of this country. And as I said over and over, Anil, the only institution, the only organization, the only body that stands between that dictatorship and this criminal gangster government is the United National Congress. And that is why he wants to select his own police commissioner so that they can come as the United National Congress and its leadership in order to have them arrested on trump-up charges, because he would have appointed his own puppet commissioner of police. We will have none of that. We will stand up, like Bob Marley has said, not only for our rights, but the rights of the citizens of our glorious and great republic. And we will defend our democracy to the last, if it becomes necessary.
Wade Mark, Senator Wade Mark, it has been brilliant. I have not been able to touch the Marriott and the Milshove in Tobago. We will do that on the next occasion. But you have hit some serious points. You've brought about a serious constitutional crisis and allowed the people to understand that there are problems in the highest offices of the land. Keith Rowley must answer. Did he go to the president's house? Was he there? Did he intercept Bliss C. Prasad and give us some exciting news that has her so confused she forgot how to do her duty? The people must stand up. Paula May Weeks must say who was the minister who was at the office of the president on August 12th, 2021. Who was that person who interfaced and interfered? And as you said, Wade Mark, our people must stand up. This government is union busting, labor busting. People are suffering. And as you said it, we thank you and we leave you with Bob Marley, who says, get up, stand up. Thank you, Senator Wade Mark.
Thank you. Thank you.
Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitter is gold. After story had never been told, so now you see the light. Hey, stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up, don't give up the fight.
When you want the very best for your eyes, trust the experts at Value Optical for the world-leading lens technology, fashion-forward frames, and the fastest delivery of your eyeglasses. The best value in eyewear is always at Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 975 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
The bhajan of the day comes to you compliments Jyoti's Puja Store. Jyoti's Puja Store, located at 542 Southern Main Road, Chase Village in Chaguanas. Contact 671-3849.